Hi folks, welcome to message 2 for the Walk with the Coach season 7 week 6. So last week Bala has asked why can't we shoot a cannon from the canoe, and he has told us because we need the lower body strength. So now this week we are going to continue on that, and we are going to talk about the strengthening of the upper body.
Absolutely. No, thank you for setting that up, Mona. Yes, guys. For those of you who did not listen to my message, go and read the message first. But the question was, what's the problem in shooting cannon? As Mona said, problem in shooting a cannon from the canoe. And the idea was that when you have a canoe which is on the water and your base is not stable, and when your base is not stable and you start shooting a cannon, then your cannon is not going to go in the right, like your cannonballs are not going to be going in the right direction, or you miss the fundamental sort of objective of shooting the cannon. Similarly, I had explained to you that in training, if you want to do running, the equivalent of a strong base is a strong set of muscles. If you don't have a strong set of muscles and you go around running, you will get injured. Simple. And I had focused on starting from the foot. I had talked to you about the various muscles that needs to be activated and strengthened in this chain called as the kinetic chain. Kinetic chain is essentially a set of muscles in your whole body that needs to get activated and strengthened so that you can propel yourself properly. That was the idea that we had discussed in our last walk with the coach. And I had said that if you don't have a strong kinetic chain, you will have injuries. Common injuries I had talked about all focused on the lower part of the body. The common injuries that I had talked about were 6 of them. Started off with the foot, plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, shin splits. Then I had talked a little bit on the stress fractures was another problem. Then on the knee, which was patellofemoral syndrome, and then other issues like that. So these are the things that I had mentioned to you as issues that will crop up for a runner if you don't have a strong kinetic chain muscle group. So this is what we discussed. So today let's continue the discussion. That's what Mona was teeing up right now. So Mona, when you think about, let's assume you've just been a runner. But if I just ask you a general question, what muscles you think are important from your hip above? Just
Back.
Upper back. Wonderful. What
Core.
else? Core muscles. What else do you think when you're running? Hands, shoulders, right? Because you're moving your body movement also happens around your shoulder. Is it? Let's take so that we'll have a better sort of there you go. So she's absolutely right. So there are 3 or 4 very important muscle sets that needs to be strengthened as part of the kinetic chain strengthening part. So if you start from here, of course, your core muscles, which is your sort of stomach area muscles, because when your core is strong, then more stability is achieved on the hip side, and your glutes can then power properly. That's why your core is very essential.
Lower back pain.
Exactly. Lower back pain won't be there if your core is, because if you think about it, if your core is weak, people will bend a little bit and run like this because their core is not strong or lower back is not strong.
I do that sometimes.
You do that? Yeah, a lot of people do. No, I have a big lower back issue as well. When you do that, you get more problems on the lower back and you are not transferring the power properly. So that's the first one. The second, which is the most important one that most runners experience, is what in the physical therapy parlance is called head forward position. What that means is, just can you hold on for a second, let me actually show you. So most runners actually, early runners, when they run, so when you're supposed to run like this, right? Your eyes straight ahead, your chin almost 90 degrees to your torso, and you're running, right? But most runners, they run like this. Head is forward, and sometimes they're looking down. That is not because they want to look down. It is because they have a weak set of neck muscles and what we call it as the trapezium muscles on the upper back. So in the upper back, there is an important muscle called trapezium muscle. So essentially, if you look at this, it starts off. I'm showing you here. It starts off here, like it starts off at the neck, and the upper back. It goes like this, like a trapezium. This is the set of muscles called the trapezium muscles. These trapezium muscles controls your upper back. Now, what happens is this trapezium muscles has three parts, Mona. Upper trapezium muscles, it's called upper traps, medium traps, middle traps, and the lower traps. Okay. Now, for all of us, typically, upper traps are well developed because we use our shoulders for a lot of items. You know, we pull our bucket, we open the door, you move your hands.
Up, we are doing always this motion.
Yes, so the upper traps are well developed. The medium and the lower traps, especially the lower traps, is not well developed at all. Because the lower traps are not well developed and the upper traps are developed, so it's almost an imbalance between the upper and the lower, and the upper is pushing your neck forward, and thereby you have the neck forward position when you are running. Okay, when you have the neck forward position, especially you will see long runs later, some of you would be complaining of neck pain. You know, many people have said to me that they have neck and shoulder pain, which is sometimes will be counterintuitive for you. How is it that you're running and you're having a neck pain? And that is because of this lower trap weakness. So we need to strengthen this lower trapezoid muscles, which is somewhere in the top part of your back here. Okay. Along this, there is one more set of muscles that is right between the shoulder blade. You know, it's called rhomboids. So you need to strengthen the rhomboid muscles. You need to strengthen the lower trap muscles. You need to strengthen your shoulder blade muscles, which is called scapula.
That I have heard.
Right?
That's
so
what
these three muscles, when you strengthen, then what happens is when you run, you are running with your head high position and not head forward position. When you do head high position, you are able to get the maximum amount of kinetic strength from your upper body into your glutes, and hence the run becomes easier. So that is why, guys, we will start designing starting Meso 2. She asked me last question, we talked about what we will do in Meso 2. In Meso 2, we are launching a newly designed kinetic chain muscle strengthening series.
That's why you have asked us to buy those belts and
bands. Exactly.
Belts and bands.
Exactly. So basically, when you go to Final Search, you will be seeing specific set of exercises. 3 sets
like
of
you
exercises.
always give us. The
like
videos.
we always give you.
Very helpful.
Correct. This time, the difference is I have given you exercises that will isolate each of these muscles. Okay, that will isolate each of these muscles, and I've given you workouts that will take you from slow, like a beginner level, to a medium level, to an advanced level. So all of you are expected to do the following things. Read the instructions.
What are they?
Read the instructions properly. Okay.
That we should be doing anyways every time.
Correct. Especially here, because you need to go today before the run. Check out your strength training. There are lots of YouTube links I've given. Open the YouTube links and see exactly what you're supposed to do. So in these strength exercises, it is not about just doing it 20 times. It is about doing it correctly 5 times is more important than doing something
wrong,
not that correctly 20 times.
Because if we do the exercise wrong, we can hurt ourselves.
That is one. Secondly, you're not isolating the muscle. It's about isolating individual muscle and strengthening it, right? So that's the goal. So 3 groups of exercises are there. Lower body, hip and glutes, upper body. And each of them have a specific muscle group that will be targeted. So if you go from the bottom, the muscle groups will be calf muscle group, which essentially is posterior tib muscles, soleus muscles, glute muscles. These are all on the calf muscle. Then when the middle body, you will be glutes, inner thigh and outer thigh muscles. Then when you come to the upper body, we just talked about, which is traps.
Traps.
The lower traps.
Mid traps and the upper traps.
Exactly.
And we generally use our upper traps But mid and lower, we are not using that.
And
So
we are
they
going to
not-
strengthen that.
So they are not strong, they are on the weaker side.
You nailed it, Mona. You nailed it. So that's what we'll do along with the shoulder blades,
Shoulder.
which is the scapula, and the rhomboid muscles, which are right in the middle of your back, somewhere in the deep. So when you do all of this, your deep muscles in the neck, very deep, that gets strengthened. They're all small muscles that are very deep in the neck. When you do that, your face will be 90 degrees, and as you do 90 degrees and run, automatically your posture gets better, your deep neck muscles get strengthened, and as a result you are looking like this Greek god from the top to bottom.
goddesses.
And goddesses. From you guys are already Greek goddesses, so I have to be like, so it'll be more better, like better Greek goddesses from the top to bottom, totally aligned, proper stability, and that cannon then can go a long distance.
So do you suggest us to do all these exercises in front of a mirror so we can see our posture?
That'll be a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. I think, yes, you should do it in front of a mirror. You should look at the YouTube videos multiple times. Don't assume that you know it already just because you did the first round. Every time you do it till it becomes ingrained. The right way to do this is ingrained. And obviously start slow. Start with minimum number of reps. The goal is to reach fatigue point.
And don't hurt yourself.
And don't hurt yourself. And if you already have a pre-existing condition, don't do that. Like you have a lower back pain,
Or try 5 reps, easy, simple 5 reps, and then
go from there.
Go from
like
there.
Be smart. Basically be smart. Don't push yourself.
listen to your body.
Exactly.
It tells you when to stop. It's just we as an adult don't want to stop because we think we can push it.
Exactly.
And from my personal experience, sometimes pushing is not good.
Absolutely.
I have pushed my body in dance and I have to pay the price later.
So that's what it is, guys. Strength training, kinetic chain, which I'm very excited about. I've designed this as a brand new set of exercises, Mona.
Oh, we are excited. Since we are old enough, so we were used to the old exercises. So we are getting a new exercises now. Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be. I've been doing this for the last 3 weeks now, because I wanted to do it first myself, couple of rounds before.
Good. We tried it already.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's
it
tried
works.
and tested.
Yes, it is tried and
He's not
tested.
experimenting on us.
No experimentation. Exactly right. It's tried and tested, and start slow. More importantly, the last point I wanted to make here is the idea here is about getting into the fatigue part. That is when the muscle gets strengthened. So what I mean by that is, let's say you start at the beginner level exercises, and for you, doing 10 reps gets that particular muscle set fatigued. For me, doing 5 reps itself will get me fatigued, right? So I should do only 5 and then do 1 or 2 more than that at the fatigue state.
Okay.
So that you push that 2 part, that is where the training is. You should do 10 plus 2.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how I would.
I think it will be reverse. He will be 2 to 10 and I'll do 5.
Probably. I don't think so, but no, Mona is very strong. But that's what it is, guys. So in summary, kinetic chain from the lower body to the top part of the body is a very important thing that needs to get strengthened for a good runner. And I've given you detailed instructions and workouts that I'm expecting you to do that. Good?
And we are looking forward to the new exercises.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mona.
Thank you. See you guys in third message.
Yes.